relaxing weekend. And if you're in Britain and Northern Europe, I hope you've been keeping cool and trying to enjoy the sunshine. I'm just going to do a short reading video today, and I'm going to read some facts about Wales. Well, actually, it's more of a sort of history book, I suppose. It's not raw, quick facts as such. But I want to share some things with you about the lovely country of Wales. I'm going to start off by talking about the Welsh flag. I'm going to read from this book. It's called World Cultures Wales, and it's by Teach Yourself. It says about the Welsh flag: Wales is a part of the United Kingdom, yet it is not represented on its flag, the Union Jack. The Standard of Wales consists of a red dragon on a background of green and white horizontal stripes. Green and white are the traditional colours of Wales, and they were worn by Welsh bowmen at the Battle of Crecy in 1346. The national symbol for Wales, a Thraig Goch, the red dragon, goes back to a time long before the Union Jack was ever put together. The Welsh red dragon is thought to be of Chinese origin and to have been introduced to Britain by the Romans some 1,800 years ago, and was perhaps initially a military standard. The English word dragon and the Welsh word draig both come from the same Latin root, draco, and draig was used in Welsh poetry to symbolise a leader. The red dragon is also associated with Merlin. According to the legend, sometime during the post-Roman period, Britain was ruled by Vortigern, or Gwrtheyrn in Welsh. Vortigern was under attack from the Saxons and decided to build a fortress at Dinas Emrys in Snowdonia, the ancient seat of Welsh power. Every time the fort walls were built, they fell down. He consulted wise men who advised him that it was the work of a bad spirit, and that the fatherless child should be sacrificed and its blood poured on the foundations to placate the spirit. The castle could then be built in peace. Men were sent in all directions to seek such a boy. Myrddin Emrys, the Merlin of the Arthurian legend, was found and brought to Dinas Emrys. Merlin disclosed the reason why the walls kept falling. He said that 2 dragons, one white and one red, lived in a lake under the hill, and it was their fighting that caused the walls to fall down. The white dragon represented the Saxons, and the red one the Welsh, and if they were released, they could fight elsewhere so that the castle could be built. Merlin was proved right, and the dragons were found. He also said that although the white dragon was winning, the red dragon would be triumphant in the end. The Queen, in 1959, was successfully petitioned for the flag's national use by the Gorsedd Beirdd Ynys Brydain. The Red Dragon did make an appearance, however, at the 1911 Carnarvon investiture of Edward, the Prince of Wales. The Red Dragon flag now flies over public and private buildings all over Wales. The Welsh flag, therefore, has remained unchanged for 1,000 years and was accepted as the oldest flag in the world at the International Conference of Flag Makers in South Africa in 1987. Also gaining popularity in Wales is the flag of St. David, a gold cross on a white background. I'm going to read to you a little about the leek and the daffodil. The leek and the daffodil are both emblems of Wales. The leek has been recognised as the emblem of Wales since the mid-16th century, but its association with Wales can be traced back to the 7th century Battle of Heathfield. The leek was reputedly adopted after the battle, in which Welsh forces wore leeks in their hats to distinguish themselves from their Saxon enemy. According to one legend, it was St. David who persuaded the Welsh to wear leeks to distinguish friend from foe, although this connection could have been made purely because St. David was vegetarian. The leek was also once regarded as an essential ingredient in the diet of the Welsh saints, particularly during Lent. It was also a symbol of purity and immortality and was widely used in divination and in folk medicine. Shakespeare notes in Henry V that the Welsh archers wore leeks at the Battle of Agincourt in 1415. Since 1984, British pound coins have featured different reverse designs for each of the 4 parts of the United Kingdom. The leek appears on the reverse of £1 coins to represent Wales. The daffodil is another national emblem of Wales, which, like the leek, is worn on St. David's Day and at international rugby matches. Some people believe that the daffodil became confused with the leek because the Welsh word for leek, genhinen, is also similar to the Welsh word for daffodil, genhinen beder. The daffodil is said to have gained popularity during the 19th century, partly because it was considered to be a more fragrant option to be worn at St. David's Day dinners amongst London-based Welsh people. base cap underneath is an extension of clothing which was worn by Welsh countrywomen during the late 18th and 19th centuries. The tall hats were the same as those worn by men of the period. The Welsh national costume then is in fact the common dress of farm servants and cottagers. The style of betgwn varied. There were coat-like, loose gowns, others had a fitted bodice and long skirts, and others were short and of a similar style to a riding habit. At first, plain shawls with a woven pattern border attached were the most common. Later, the paisley pattern became very popular in Wales, along with the home-produced woolen shawls with checked patterns. Original costumes can be seen in the Museum of Welsh Life at St Fagans. The adoption of this dress as the national costume of Wales was mainly due to the activities of Lady Llanofer, the wife of an ironmaster in Gwent. Lady Llanofer was passionately interested in everything to do with Welsh culture, music, folk dancing, costume, cookery, and poetry, and was a fervent believer in keeping what she considered to be Welsh traditional culture alive. To her, the wearing of an identifiable Welsh costume was important in order to present a national identity. So she designed a new costume based on the clothes worn in the 18th and 19th centuries. Servants at her estate in South Wales were issued with her new Welsh costume, as she published a series of pictures of costumes which were supposed to be typical of the various Welsh counties. There's a glossary of some important Welsh words here to do with this topic. Dathlu, to celebrate. Gwyl, festival. Traddodiad, tradition. Draig, dragon. Chwedl, legend. Cymdeithas, society. Blwyddyn Newydd Dda, Happy New Year. Nadolig, Christmas. Nadolig Llawen, Happy Christmas. Diwylliant, culture. Ofergoel, superstition. Arfer, custom. Kenhinen, leek. Kenin Peder, daffodils. Banner, flag. Noson Lawen, merry evening. Straeon Gwerin, folk tales. Gwerin, folk. Het, hat. Pasg, Easter. Gwisg, costume. Blodau, flowers. Ffynnon, well. Coel certh, bonfire. hope that you've had a lovely weekend and you're not worried about starting your Monday morning. Hopefully, if you are, this video will help calm you down and help you relax before you start off fresh this new week. Thank you so much for watching. Do hit subscribe if you haven't already, and try and watch some of my other videos to help you calm down, relax, and maybe even fall asleep. If you haven't already, and quite a few of you have, you can also follow me on Instagram, where I will post very regularly pictures and videos to try and help to calm, relax